They're asking him questions, proof, and this and that. He's saying, no, there's none of that. Everything that's there is there. Simply, he pleaded guilty to what they charged him with. Now they're asking him about politicians in Mexico. Come on, politicians? You're not going to get no politicians?
Guatemala y Honduras le ayudaron.
No va a hablar de nadie.
He said he's not going to talk about nobody.
¿Por qué decidieron?
Yeah, he said he's not going to talk about nobody, nor has he been talking to anybody. It seems Mayo understands that the moment he turns in the government, the U.S. government will use it as an excuse to invade Mexico and take natural resources. Damn, it seems like all that from him just saying, I'm just going to take my guilty plea. I don't think he gives a shit about the American government running into Mexico. I don't think he gives a shit. I don't think he give a fuck about the game no more. None of that shit. I'm guilty. Let me do my time. We're the ones that are going to keep writing the story. Do you think the CIA will torture him for info? We live in a movie sometimes. Nah, man. The United States don't have to. Let me tell you something. The United States don't have to torture nobody for info. All they got to do is lie to you and tell you that they got the info and make it up. And then they can go do whatever they want. Because that's how they are. We're the ones looking for this shit. We're the ones that want. We're chismosos. We want the information. Yeah, I don't think he cares about shit at his age and in prison, dog. Sorry. Aside from being a drug dealer, he's a businessman. I'm pretty sure he understands. Yeah, I didn't say he didn't understand it. I said he don't give a fuck about it. Never thought about it like that. You don't think he wants to see his son? Not enough to turn himself in? He might have wants. Wants is... Everybody got wants, especially when you can't have what you want. Info for seeing his son? Ah, ustedes están demasiado. No. That sounds like the same argument when they were saying he turned himself in so he could see his sons. He don't give a fuck. Sons, I think they are in witness protection. We know Vicentillo is. The other ones were out there at the courthouse when he first got locked up. My point is, miss me with the, you know, you got a strategic reason why he's not saying nothing. Maybe there's not enough in it for him. Maybe he don't want to deal with a trial. Maybe he don't want to deal with sitting around giving them information. Oh, you charge me with this? I'm done? Cool. Guilty. Lock it down. That's it. Hit the like button, y'all. He said, why didn't you go make a deal? He said, we ain't going to get nothing out of it. Mom said, fuck it, I'm done. I'm guilty. That's it. That's done. He's done. He know he's done. Now me, I thought he was going to give up everybody. But he didn't. He don't want to go through the drama. But miss me with the nobility. Oh, his children. And, oh, he wants to spend Christmas at home. Or, oh, no. Or he care. I don't think, like Zaza said, I don't think he cares about what happens in Mexico now. You think he gives a shit, Zaza, if the military go in there and shut down the cartels? I don't think he gives a shit. Whether he got businesses or not, yeah, he understands them. I didn't say he understands them. I said the gig is up. If he cared about his businesses, he would have told his son to stop the war. Mom turned in Chapo to save his ass. They all betrayed each other at one point or another. It's all a shit show. We give them too much props. Shy, in my humble opinion, stuck to his code by proof of what we heard. He knew he was fucked, so he just copped out to not get in the sentence. He just want to end the long process. I agree with you. As of right now, that's the story, yeah. He's old and said, yep, I did it. He just wanted the death. But that's it. I believe Mayo knew this day would come. Yeah, I don't doubt it. Or didn't. I know he's pissed off. His nephews did that shit. These little bastards. Always come to your channel for raw, uncut Bartel news. Salutes to you, Dini Campos. I appreciate you. He's not going to talk about nobody.
Abogado, ¿por qué decidieron no ir al juicio si de todas maneras se enfrenta a cadena perpetua?
Porque no ganamos nada en el juicio.
He said, even though it's a life sentence, why didn't you go to the judge try to make a deal? He said it ain't going to do nothing for us. Now, mind you, Jay Flores been saying this shit since day one. So give him his props when his props are due. He's been saying this since day one, that the old man ain't going to talk. And it just is what it is. He ain't really got nothing to give him above him, except he going to give him all the political shit. Evidently, he's not going to do that. I don't think, though, again, contrary to Zaza's belief, I don't think it's to protect Mexico, though. If that's what you're getting at, Zaza. Zaza left. He wrote out earlier. I don't think he gives a fuck what's going on in Mexico. or what's gonna happen in Mexico because of whatever decision he makes or any of that shit.
El caso de Honduras y Guatemala y México.
¿Cómo podría
So what about politicians in Guatemala and Mexico and where else? He said somewhere else. He's like, yo, he's thinking, how many times can I tell y'all, how many different ways can I tell y'all that dude ain't testifying against nobody? How many different ways can I say this to you?
¿Sí le resulta benéfico, abogado, el haberse declarado
Dude's not cooperating in that sense. He cooperated in the sense when he snitched on himself. He said he was guilty.
culpable?
The lawyer don't even want to talk to these goofies no more. He said, why did he plead guilty then? Because, you know, usually pleading guilty comes with a deal. He said because he wanted to take accountability. Right? They're going the holier than thou route.
Y si no hay cooperación,
No hay cooperación.
Bueno, si
He
para
said, and if there's not cooperation, he said, well, then there's no cooperation.
cooperar tiene que mencionar quiénes eran sus socios. Los socios presidentes, diputados.
He said, damn, he's not gonna give up the, you know, his associates, the presidents, the you know, people in power, politicians.
Militares.
No va a cooperar. No va a cooperar el señor.
¿obtiene algún beneficio?
Nada.
They say he's not gonna cooperate. He's not gonna reap any benefit from this.
Nada.
Nothing.
Él no gana nada.
He don't win nothing. He gets nothing.
Cooperando. ¿Por qué lo hizo entonces? ¿Por qué declaró
So then why did he do it? Why did he plead guilty?
culpable? Porque está culpable.
Because he's guilty.
Pero no se va a beneficiar su familia.
He said, how is that gonna benefit his family? That lady said, yo, these people are fucking ridiculous.
Culpable. Porque está culpable.
Pero no se va a beneficiar su
esta
familia.
decisión cree que pueda beneficiar a su familia, que su familia esté segura, que pueda tener una mejor prisión, no una
He said he can make his people, they're telling him how he could have made the deal for them. Well, then you fucking reporters should have gone and made the deal. What are we talking about?
prisión de máxima seguridad?
No sé. Yo creo que sí.
Look, dude's tired of talking to these fools. He's like, bro, y'all keep asking me the same shit.
Porque
Hice pagos tanto a policías, mandos militares como políticos durante 30 años para operar libremente.
See, he got 30 years of police, he got 30 years of politicians.
Esa es información que tiene
That information that he has,
y que va a dar a las autoridades de Estados Unidos.
No. Esta es información que ya tiene el gobierno en los otros juicios que
he said this is information that the government already has.
han hecho. So, no. Es información que ya tiene el gobierno en los otros juicios que han hecho. So, no.
He said from the other cases that they've had. So no.
Pero no la información que tiene el Mayo Zambada.
He said, but what information does Mayo have? They just want that man to create an answer that's going to be different out of thin air. Because that's what people do. People don't want to hear the answer. They want to hear their answer. He said, well, but what about the information from Mayo Zambada? He said the information that Mayo Zambada has stays with Mayo Zambada.
o sea que él ya ha confesado todo.
He said, can it be that he's already confessed everything? He said, no.
No. Él no ha hablado con el gobierno.
He said he hasn't even spoken to the government.
No sé dónde sacan eso. Él no ha hablado con el gobierno.
Brian,
Now, y'all don't have to believe it that he hasn't spoke to the government. But in 10 years from now, if it's still true that he didn't speak to the government, you're also not going to, you know, chalk it up and be like, okay, maybe I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Not going to do that. He ain't cooperating. He's not going to pay a damn dime. What do they think? They're going to take him to an ATM and get that $15 billion? They better get out my face with that shit. His family ain't benefiting for him speaking out. His kids that were involved already did their time and talked. The Zambadas have legitimate business in Sinaloa.
¿Hay alguna posibilidad de que él pueda salir?
Is there any case where he can get out? Like, these people don't speak the English, man. English motherfucker, do you speak it? Crazy.
¿De prisión? No. En lo absoluto.
¿cómo van a convencer a Brian Cogan de que es culpable? Eso fue lo que pidió el juez. Dice, me tienes que convencer tú ahora que eres culpable.
How are you going to convince Brian Cogan what?
Ya hizo eso.
¿Cómo van a convencer a Brian Cogan de que es culpable? Eso fue lo que...
You don't gotta convince Brian Cogan. Brian Cogan is the judge. You ain't gotta convince Brian Cogan. Oh, he's guilty. Good, thanks. I'm going home. I got a 2:00 tea time. I don't got time for this shit. You know what I mean? I think the judge wanted to make sure he understood what he was about to plead to and understood the charges, and the reporter misunderstood it. I can't get over how much he has to give the government. Upper echelon, how much did y'all have to forfeit? And how did that work? Y'all had to give them a big duffel of money and shit? Huh? What y'all have to give up? 14 million or some stupid shit? You was like 5 short. What y'all had to give up? And how does that work, man? You give them your debit card, or they walk you over to an ATM or some shit. 15 billion? I don't know where they're gonna store that. How they gonna get that? Fuck out of here. We gave up a total of 38 million. Coño, man. Plus whatever the girls gave them. The girls had to give them something too. So 38 million plus whatever the girls gave them. And they was crying about some other shit. God damn, boy. United States greedy as shit. Did the twins give you 40 million plus all the shipments they lost? Give you? What am I, the judge? Am I the United States government? Just watch how the U.S. government allows new gen work with no propaganda on their dealings. The U.S. Negotiating with terrorists. What if Mayo got 5 billion? What you mean, negotiate with them? They want what? 15 billion? I got 2. I got 2 for you. You want that 2? You take that 2. Otherwise, get the fuck out of here. 2 million? No, 2 billion. He owes them that money, and they can go after his money for forfeiture, but don't think that he's bringing a semi-truck for the money and giving it to him. Well, that was my thoughts. What did they get y'all in? They get y'all in assets? Are they going to levy his businesses? Did they just get y'all in assets and cribs, or was it a truck full of cash? How you give them 38 million? You gave it to them in loads? You gave it to, you know what I'm saying? That's I don't know. And maybe it's a stupid question. What do they do with the money? They don't fucking fix the roads in your town. They don't build bridges. They don't give mental health care, rehab. They don't they don't do none of that shit. Do you think Mayo gonna pay that? I wouldn't. You wouldn't just keep you 1 billion and give the rest to the government? So it's the biggest lie told to the American people that the U.S. government don't do deals with the cartel. No, the biggest lie is that they don't negotiate with terrorists. That's the biggest lie, Mike Lopez. The biggest lie is that they don't negotiate with terrorists, because you just classify these fools terrorists, and all you've been doing is you get a deal, 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 you get a deal.
U.S. Attorney in the Southern District of Florida, Jason Quinones, U.S. Attorney... Quinones.
You don't have to get it, right, pendeja? Pam Bondi? These people, boy.
For the Western District of Texas, Justin Simmons, and Acting Assistant AG Matt Gagliotti, who I'm with almost every day as well. We're here to announce a landmark victory for the Department of Justice, our law enforcement partners, and the United States of America. As you've heard, drug kingpin Ishmael Zambada Garcia, also known as El Mayo, has confessed to a lifetime.
No, he didn't. No, he did not confess to a lifetime. He confessed to he didn't confess to shit. He pled guilty to what you charged him with. The United States government is a liar and disingenuous.
In service to the Sinaloa cartel.
A lifetime of crime. But she's talking like he confessed to a lifetime of crime. No, he didn't. Because if he confessed to a lifetime of crime, you would have had a lifetime of associates in a book listed. You're talking shit.
A foreign terrorist organization.
That you made deals with all over the place.
Thanks to the relentless work of our prosecutors and our...
Thanks to the relentless work of the Chapitos. Thanks to the bodily fluids that they had to spill from people and the bodies that laid in the street. Huh? Thanks to the soft Chapito brother that wanted to make a deal and show up with a bargaining chip. Huh? Not thanks to the United States government. You bitches got a phone call. What did you do? You grandstanding sucias. That's what y'all are. This is all a game, man. This is acting right here. They lie to y'all fucking faces, but shouldn't it mean this or should it mean that? No. It means that they don't give a fuck whether you believe them or not. They're not doing it for you to believe them. They're not doing it for me to believe them. It's for the people that do believe them, that'll believe anything. As long as you pitch it to them, in the right way. on the right side of the aisle. But no thanks to none of those motherfuckers, man. Yeah, they act like they caught Mayo. Thank those chapados, bro. Y'all didn't do shit. What did y'all do? They're taking all the credit like the USA went over there and snatched him up themselves or something. Oh, wait. No, that's exactly what they're doing. Grandstand. They're a bunch of grandstanding sucias. She's a pig. These people are pigs. We have to stop acting like we relate to them. No. And if you do, then I can't fuck with you. I don't want to be around pigs. These people are filthy, dirty fucking pigs. Democrat, Republican. Me vale madre. I can't stand her. Nothing ever comes out of her mouth is accurate because she's a liar. I saw her yesterday. That's why I said Yoma had bit the cheese. She led you astray, JP. Stop defending pigs. Just because it's your political, it makes you look stupid. I'm really, the intelligence of people that I thought were smart, I've lost faith in it, and it's like, sad.
Thanks to the relentless work of our prosecutors and our federal agents.
Thanks to the relentless work of our prosecutors and federal, such a crock of shit. Thanks to the sleepless nights of Joaquin Guzman and whoever piloted that plane. Huh? Why ain't she up on that podium telling us who piloted that plane?
El Mayo will spend the rest of his life behind bars. He will die in a U.S. federal prison where he belongs. His guilty plea brings us one step closer to achieving our goal of elimination of the drug cartels and the transnational criminal organization.
I think it's a kick in the nuts to them if they get him and he don't cooperate. He didn't cooperate, right? You don't get shit, bitch. You get an old man that you get to put in the storage. That's it. Hit the like button if you have yet to do so. That's what you got. If he don't give you the goods, that's what you got.
Throughout this world that are flooding our country with drugs, human traffickers, and homicides. Under President Trump's leadership, the Department of Justice is on the front lines of this fight. We're standing shoulder to shoulder with all of our law enforcement partners to dismantle these narco-terrorists. And that's exactly what they are. They are narco-terrorists. El Mayo was one of the most prolific and powerful drug traffickers in this world. His partner was El Chapo. They were co-founders of the Sinaloa cartel. They brutally murdered multiple people and flooded our country with drugs. Their reign of terror is over. He will never walk free.
This bitch is disingenuous. The threat of terror is over. You think that shit ended the cartel? Cartel's over with now? Because you said so? Because y'all got some old man in the cell? You cut the head off the serpent? Shut the fuck up, man. And mine didn't do a deal with Trump administration before it mentioned, that's all. Quite possible, but we keep moving the goalposts. We keep saying he's going to snitch. Then when he doesn't, we say, oh, but not yet. Okay, I get it. Maybe not yet. Quite possible. Sounds just like the restaurant industry. Get a bunch of Mexicans to do the real work, then claim their accomplishments as their own. That's exactly what they're doing. It's going to get interesting when Joaquin and Ovidio testify against Mayo. There's no testifying. He pleaded guilty. There's not going to be no testifying. Everybody doing deals, and that's behind closed doors. We don't know what they gave up, but, you know, bunch of airheads. Ain't that the truth? What they have this press conference acting like they ended all the cartels. Bro, it's over, dog. We shutting the channel down. The crime is done. The people of Sinaloa are free. He will never walk free. He barely could walk. He's so damn old. Yeah, he ain't going nowhere. And that's why he knows that. So he's like, all right, forget a trial. Forget the hoopla. I'm guilty. Go get me a fucking ramen noodle. Shut the fuck up. That's it. And meant to do it all alone. We gonna see. We gonna see, because there's family members of him that continually get popped off, and they're gonna do some talking on him. The reporter that was there said he looks good and said hi to everyone. Yeah, the rest of the world is not free of cartels, according to this dumbass right here.
Again, has flooded our country with drugs. Their reign of terror is over.
It's over.
He will never walk free again.
No, mommy's wait.
Over the last 3 decades, El Mayo and his accomplices made billions of dollars, hundreds of millions each year they were making by bringing poisonous drugs into our country.
Bro, you see how they talk to you, American people? They talk to you like you're fucking dum-dums. First of all, she has to talk to you like that because she's not there knowing exactly what she's going to say. She got to read that shit because she's a dum-dum. So I swear they did the twins and the ladies dirty. Hey, man, you roll around with pigs, you get dirty. I hope all the plugs are aware of this news. That it's over with. That they could keep the money, Robert. They don't even gotta pay nobody to, they don't gotta pay none of the money back, none of their consignment back, right? But where they gonna get the next load? I don't know, man. I guess drug abuse is over too. The demand is over as well. I don't know who it was, but the restaurant analogy, great analogy.
The Sinaloa cartel initially built their businesses with cocaine, but then under El Mayo's leadership, they turned to heroin, they turned to fentanyl. They purchased fentanyl precursor chemicals from China. They made the drug in Mexico and flooded it into our communities, killing our kids. El Mayo also ensured that the Sinaloa cartel operated and protected its drug trafficking.
She got nothing in her voice. That is, she just sounds like a talking head. She got nothing. Shout out Robert. Robert says, finally over. It's over, y'all. We could make a shirt, man. It's finally over. The war on rugs is done. They think we're idiots. There's a new generation of narcos ready to take over. Not ready to take over. They took over. You know what I'm saying? Them old men been in jail. Those dudes been in place since those old men. You think that old man was sitting there worried about business? No, he was letting Maito Flaco deal with it. He was worried about making sure his cows was fed. No, but you're right. That is, she got nothing. She got nothing. She lacks passion, everything. Just got nothing.
Trafficking business by relying on extreme violence. They used military-grade weapons and directed hitmen to kill their adversaries. They committed gruesome assassinations, kidnappings, and horrible crimes to maintain discipline within their own organization.
You know what she sound like? She sound like she got stage fright. She sound like she want to cry.
He ordered the murder of countless individuals and rivals. Many innocent people died as a result of this as well. El Mayo operated with impunity at the highest levels of the Mexican drug trafficking world by paying bribes to government officials, by bribing law enforcement officers. He controlled corrupt officials and officers who protected his workers and his drug shipments that traveled from Mexico into our country. El Mayo's crimes have been so prolific that in the past 2 decades, he's been indicted in no fewer than 16 federal courts across our country. 16. From Western District of Texas to Chicago to here in the Eastern District of New York. He escaped justice for decades, but under President Trump's leadership, he has finally been brought to justice. Today's conviction is the...
She make it seem like Trompito flew the plane.
No.
Shit. Yeah, tell us something new. We know all that. Nah, they want the people that are okay with hearing it over and over and over, and they don't notice that they're hearing it over and over and over. You know what they are? They're the frog in the boiling water that don't realize that the water is slowly getting warmer and warmer and warmer. You know? She probably got the bolsita in her pockets. Right there. What's up? Also, when the camera's off, she just smashed that microphone to the side and just boom, do a linea right there on the podium. And she was born.
Latest success in the United States fight against deadly cartels and transnational criminal organizations. We've made remarkable progress. Just to give you a few examples, under President Trump's direction, the United States...
You see this? You think this is pearls back here. This is not pearls in her hair. pure Bolivian flake. Untouched cocaine right there in her hair.
State Department designated the Sinaloa cartel, together with 5 other cartels and MS-13 and TDA, as foreign terrorist organizations due to the serious threat that they pose to our national security. As a result, the DOJ has already charged leaders of the Sinaloa cartel with narco-terrorism and charged alleged members with support and supporters of TDA, MS-13, and CJNG, currently one of the most violent gangs, cartels in Mexico.
Oh, they're a gang now? See, she misspoke. Ya la cagó.
They provided material support to a terrorist organization. We are calling these drug kingpins what they are.
She's just throwing a bunch of word soup out there to make it seem like he snitched, to make it seem like they caught him, to make it seem like it's a big fucking deal that he pleaded guilty when we've been knowing for months he was going to plead guilty. We was just wondering if everybody was sitting around waiting. He's going to give the last 5 presidents. Nah. Why? He's not going to get what he going to get? The only thing they could do for that old man that's going to help that old man is let him out of prison, send him back to his ranch. That's it.
International narco-terrorist that
terrorist, then you gotta stop making deals with them.
Invade our country, threaten the sovereignty of our borders, and destroy our communities. They are terrorists, and we will prosecute them like they are terrorists. Since President Trump took office, Mexican authorities have expelled more than 50 high-ranking cartel leaders and other dangerous criminals to our country to face prosecution. More than 50. These are historic numbers that ensure that these criminals will face justice and face justice on American soil. We now have leaders from CJNG, Sinaloa, and Los Zetas in custody. Our prosecutors in the Criminal Division and the Northern District of Illinois obtained a guilty plea from Ovidio Guzman Lopez, the son of El Chapo, and another leader of the Sinaloa cartel, the co-founder. Just a few weeks ago, on August 14th.
It's called a new board of directors. That's what it's called. Those players are popped. They mean nothing now. But guess what? It ain't seemed like business has slowed down, not even a little bit.
We announced criminal charges against 5 cartel leaders and high-ranking members of these united cartels. We will not rest until Americans are safe from these narco-terrorists.
Americans ain't safe from you. Americans ain't safe from Trompito. Americans ain't safe from the fucking AI robot standing behind her. We're not safe from them.
Thanks to our law enforcement officers, both here and in Mexico, who often put their lives on the line every single day to protect us and to get these violent leaders off the streets.
You better shout out the pilots. Stop being greedy with the clout.
We are not done yet. At President Trump's direction, we will continue to fight until every single cartel boss is behind bars and on American soil and in American prisons for the rest of their lives.
All we got is old washed up narcos. They got a couple new ones, but what's it gonna do? None of the bosses like that. They're not bosses like these guys were. They would have been if they would have made it, but they got popped off. My thing is that the United States is just as much of a liar as the cartel is, just as much of a warmonger and fearmonger and animal as they are. She just went up there and tried to make it seem like the United States government pulled off a mission in Mexico and brought back an untouchable man. She tried to make it seem like this untouchable man decided to cooperate with the United States government and give them a long list of 40 years of information and things that they want. She's just talking bullshit. She's a blowhard, just like the rest of them. They're not smart people. The word educated, that shit, they put too much weight in that shit. Educated means nothing to me if you're a fucking liar. Just bad people. They act like these names are part of their comic book collection. Gotta catch them all. Yeah, these motherfuckers Pokemon. The government is a gang of their own. They aren't any better than the cartels. No, absolutely not. They're just a competing cartel. I thought America doesn't do deals with terrorists. That's what they say, but they do it with these guys. I remember ISIS behind innocent U.S. missionaries when ISIS wanted money. The hypocrisy, the white hypocrisy, the narrative is they call them terrorists, and their deeds get them asylum in the United States. El Zambada, guilty. Vicentillo, protected witness. La Barbie, protected witness. Ovidio, protected witness. Damaso, collaborated witness. And Tuta in his preliminary investigation. That's what they do. They nowadays, they think it's stupid that we would say that. I've seen them get upset about it. They get upset about us saying you negotiate with terrorists. Y'all called them terrorists. How are you going to call them terrorists? You've been telling us for the last 20, 30 years that you don't negotiate with terrorists. But now you call these guys terrorists and all you do is make deals with them. And while you deporting good, hard-working people, you're bringing these criminals across the border, right? Fuck out of here. No mames. The most recent South Park episodes have been more truthful regarding current events than any major news outlet. I believe that 110%. Absolutely.
Ismail El Mbada's lawyer says his client pleaded guilty because he is guilty, that there is no agreement with the U.S. justice system, and that he will not say more than what he said today at the hearing in the Brooklyn, New York court. Do you believe him? There he admitted to having founded the Sinaloa cartel, leading the criminal organization for 50 years and even bribing Mexican politicians. The story of the day El Zambada pleaded guilty is by Angel Hernandez. El Zambada arrived at his plea hearing on his own 2 feet and greeting the entire courtroom, very different from the man who first appeared before a courtroom in a wheelchair in El Paso, Texas, after his arrest in July 2024.
Oh shit, what'd they do? They gave him the super soldier serum? I even told, who was it? Was it that they said he looked good? I said he probably still couldn't walk. They said he walked in on his own. Oh shit, Tony Montana.
Good afternoon, he said on the air as soon as he entered Judge Brian Cowan's courtroom with a completely gray beard and hair. The courtroom was packed. The judge, his lawyers, the prosecutors who were prosecuting him, more than 30 agents from the DEA, HCI, FBI, marshals and reporters. Ismail Zambada Garcia, 75 years old, who was in his 6th year of Sinaloa, answered the judge's first questions on May 16th. The judge wanted to know his full name, age, level of education, and place of study. El took the floor and read a letter he had previously written. He said that he started in the drug trade at age 19, planting marijuana, that he worked with partners in Mexico and other countries, and confirmed that the Mexican authorities were on his payroll to protect his business. I
began getting involved in illegal drugs in 1969, when I was 19 and planting marijuana for the first time. I had trusted partners. I worked with many of them myself. Others who worked for me took care of the logistics.
This sounds like he's talking. So I don't know where the misunderstanding is. I get the misunderstanding that Jay was talking about. The judge wanted to check his coherency. Right? So the judge said name, place of birth, all this shit. And the old man started telling. What the fuck, man? Shit stranger than fiction, man. Jesus. This is some bullshit. The judge said, name, phone number, and social security. And he was like, it all started in a weed farm when I was 19 years old. What the fuck?
I worked with many of them myself. Others who worked for me took care of the logistics.
In a macabre mea culpa, El Mayo admitted that his criminal network also participated in a bloody war that ended the lives of rivals, allies, and innocent people. I
also had a large number of armed men at my service. Ultimately, they were all under my control. Many members of my organization were also murdered. I apologize to all those who have suffered or been affected by my actions.
The Mexican's lawyer, Frank Perez, assured that his client is not an active collaborator of Washington. He will not do it, sir. Does he get any benefit? Nothing. Nothing. He gains nothing. Why did he do it then? Why did you plead guilty? Because he is guilty. He has not spoken to the government. I do not know where he is. Samata will return to the Brooklyn court on January 13, 2026 to learn his sentence. Federal guidelines in the United States and the prosecutor's office indicate that the Mexican will receive life in prison, but it remains to be seen in which prison he will serve his sentence.
They need to make Mayo Chapo cellmates and turn it into a reality TV series. I throw some money in the pool in the pot for them to scrap, especially now that Mayo's looking a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? And feeling a little bit better. Got some little health on him. I think they should scrap to the death. Shit, I was sorry because I got two. You know what I'm saying? Because you got caught too. They ask you for your phone number. You give them the fucking every crime that you've done for the last 15 years, 20, 30, 50 years. But that was his, you know. I've been in the game a long time. I made a lot of mistakes. I'm guilty and I'm sorry. So that's basically it, y'all. There's nothing to see here. The old man didn't talk. He pled guilty. So in a sense, he cooperated by turning himself in, basically. He left himself at the mercy of the court, basically. And maybe they give him an extra pillow or some shit. But so far, everybody wants political names. Everybody wants this, everyone that. Well, it's good to want things, but you ain't always going to get what you want. It's just what it is. Did they admit to the Chomo stuff? They didn't even bring it up. The only person that's ever brought up the Mayo Chomo stuff is me. If you find somebody else, please let me know so that I can commend them. But the only person that's ever called these men PDF files and believes that they are and has said it and has made stories about it is me. I'm not doing it to toot my own horn. I'm just saying these other motherfuckers don't care. But in none of this have I heard him anything that has to do with he was presenting himself for the first day of school. Sure was. He looked gordito when he sat down. What you mean? All you saw was drawings of him. Tere, how you know he looked gordito? They drew him gordito? That was his speech. Yeah, that was his little speech. The Chomo stuff was in court docs in the El Chapo trial, right? Yes. That was them talking about him ordering out of a catalog. And then we had Jay Flores who said, yep, they had a catalog. And we also heard him say it wasn't just Chapo, it was Mayo too, all the guys at the top. Then I also heard the 15-year-old girl tell me how Chapo chose her. I choose you. But the long story short is that the old man pleaded guilty, but he is not giving them anything or hasn't given them anything. He's not conversing with them. It's just, it is what it is. Chapo's ready for his new celly. Who's that going to be? Well, we're going to see. We're going to see if he gets a comfortable, maybe he gets a little comfortable, goes to a camp. Mayo goes to a camp for the rest of his life or something. Because here's the thing, with that medical care, they gave him new life. I've seen Julian Dory and Jeff Nadu talk about the Chomo briefly. Have you? Okay, I need to hear about that. I need to know if there's a timestamp for that. I need to get to that. They ain't gonna ask about the Chomo when the president's a Chomo. There you go. You gotta point. I see what you did there.
You're stealing, right to jail. You're playing music too loud, right to jail, right away. You're driving too fast, jail. Slow, jail.
Mm-hmm. They want to act in the White House like PDFs and Chomos don't exist. America don't care about really getting them for Chomo charges when that's extremely egregious and illegal. This is America.